How's it going, everyone? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to my channel. So if you're someone with a passion for singing and you're thinking of going on T, but you're scared of how it might affect your voice, if it might ruin it, this video is for you. Today, I got a friend with me.
Yo, what's up? It's St. Hills. I'm a music producer, I'm a singer, and I am also a trans guy. I'm an artist who happens to be trans, and I've been through this process myself. I'm working to be an aspiring pop artist, basically. So I have a lot of advice and a lot of things to talk about in this area for all of you singers out there, people who love singing, people who want to sing professionally, and who happen to also be trans.
I know for me, when I first started my transition, there wasn't much documentation as there is now, but I think that we all have a lot of the same questions, so we just wanted to go over those.
Because singing is such an important, part of my life, I was really afraid of certain things like the rate of change, you know what I mean? Because when you're a singer, you learn how to sing and then you get a certain stability with your voice, and then testosterone might obviously come and knock that out of the window. With that being said, like, one of the first questions I had is like, how fast is my voice gonna change? It is different for everybody, but for me, it dropped at around 10 months on T. And I know that's not the case for everyone. Like, for some people, 3 months on T, they already have like a deeper voice. But I worked with a vocal coach who specializes in singers who are trans, specifically FTM singers. He advised me to just go slow. So I went on a really low dose of testosterone. Since you're just taking a little bit of gel every day, it makes it a lot smoother and a lot easier for your vocal cords to adjust. It's like your muscles are growing and thickening slowly and at a rate that's like more natural for your body. And I can say for me, I had a pretty smooth like vocal transition. Of course, my voice cracked, and it's actually even fun to have those moments. And there were some scary moments where I was like, am I gonna sound like a squeaky rat forever? Like what? But I was able to like have a smoother transition throughout.
And again, it's really subjective because it all depends on what you want. Because some people, they want their voice to change as quick as they can. But for musicians, for singers, it's a completely different deal because it's now involving your passion.
If you think about it, there aren't really like professional like pop singers who are trans, and especially trans guys. I've looked at so many like on YouTube and stuff, but I've never heard one on the radio, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there wasn't a lot of visibility, and I was definitely told by so many people, you're gonna ruin your voice or you're gonna destroy your career. I was told that by family members. And anyways, it can just be really scary. I felt like I had to choose between my voice and being a professional singer or being myself. Thankfully, I found some tools that we're discussing right now that helped me make those two one path. And now I can do both things, and a lot of the fear has been relieved. The only like real resource I had for how a singer's voice changes throughout their career, and like especially like a male singer, is like Justin Bieber. But that was in the span of like, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, however long it took. It was puberty, right? He's a cis guy, and there was nothing like that for like trans guys. I really didn't have a role model, but in the past 2 years, I've been making music and working on my debut album, which is coming out 2020, and my voice changed a lot throughout that. I never really like made a video on YouTube like, oh, this is my voice 1 month on T, 2 months on T, just because I'm disorganized with that stuff and I can never like find the videos that I recorded. My album kind of became that without it being about that. It's about longing, it's about looking for home, it's about relationships and breakups. It's not about, being on T, but it ended up also in a way being like an example of what does it look like to be an artist and to be expressing yourself while you're going through all of these like biological changes in your bodies. I wonder, like, are people gonna think that it's a different artist, or like that I produced this song and I had a featured artist singing? I get sometimes people, even like engineers that I'm working with, and they're like, oh, who's this girl singing on your song? And I'm like, oh shit. All right, so listen, let me tell you a little thing about myself.
Expecting nothing, I came out with pride. How could this all happen so soon? I promised myself this time I would wait. Don't know where to go, don't know where to go. spread across the sky. One day they will die. One day they will die like you and I wanna... Wish you could see me now. Wish you could see just how I've changed. Wish you could see me now. Wish you could see just how I've changed. Thinking about, I'll be thinking about, I'll be thinking about, I'll be thinking about you. One night, one dance, yeah, one time, one chance with you, with you. Ela sentou nesse ritmo. Ela sentou e nunca mais voltou.
We were talking about how we felt when we listened to those past recordings, and sometimes they are cringy. For me personally, I do cringe because my voice was so high. I still don't know how it was able to change as much as it did. But then there's that cringy feeling, and then there's also that proud feeling. Because I know I did my documentation with just talking. I didn't put singing on there. And singing, like, it takes so much more control, and I'm not a singer, but I can only imagine.
No, man, Ryan sings.
Not like that. How do you feel?
Like when listening to like old recordings,
or even listening to your recordings that you're gonna have on your album.
Now I might not, be able to hit all those high notes and all that shit, but I love my voice nowadays. You know what I mean? Just because it sounds like me. I look back and I still like the musical creations. A part of me just wishes it was like I always had this voice. Like I always was sounding like how I feel like I should have sounded, but then again, it's just that thing. Like it's a photograph, a moment in time, and I'm glad it's over, and I can just like get the popcorn and be like, yeah, that happened.
Because you could still appreciate that time without feeling like you missed out on it.
Exactly.
What's some advice that you would give singers?
For people who love singing and who want to sing their entire lives, not let testosterone or choosing to really be yourself affect that in any way, this is what I would do. I would work with a voice professor, vocal coach that really understands this topic. I worked with a guy called Alexandros Constansis. He's based in the UK, and he does like Skype sessions with like trans guys around the world. And then he's done like years of research on FTM singers specifically. So he like educated me and gave me exercises and kind of like guided me through everything. But advice I would give off the bat is, first of all, be very patient. Don't try to sound like you sounded before. Your vocal cords get thicker, they literally change. You're not gonna sound like you sounded before. So don't force yourself. Don't like try to hit those notes. And again, be patient because you're gonna have to find out where these new notes live. So advice number 3, take the space and time to discover like what your new voice is like for you, because so many people give you opinions. Oh, I liked how your voice sounded before, or you used to sound so sweet, or like, why did you do this? Or, oh, you sound sexy now. Like, you just get so many different opinions. Take the time and take the space to like
figure out what your opinion is.
100%.
I don't think it's necessarily bad to try to hit those notes, but just not to feel bad and not to be hard on yourself if you can't.
Once you transition, people look at you completely different than they did like 2 seconds ago, you know what I mean? And they don't realize you don't change as a person until you prove to them that you're the same person.
I just wish it was easier for people to not necessarily think of the transition last, but think of it as an addition to who we are rather than just our entire being.
It took me a long time to generate thick skin for getting misgendered, and that was like the worst for me. And I think once I looked in the mirror and I like looked masculine enough to the point where my dysphoria was like gone or almost gone, then it was like easy for me. Like now if someone calls me she, I'm like, haha, I take it as a joke. But in the beginning, it was like, no, oh my God, like, is it this shirt? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. If you liked this video, please give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna put a link to also this channel.
If you guys have any other specific questions about singing and being trans or transitioning while singing, put them down in the comments. I will read and reply because I wish someone did that when I was doing it. So I got you.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
Is this too cold for you here and now? So let me hold both your hands and the holes of my sweater. Where do you guys want to go after that? Yeah, that was cute. No shirt, no blouse, just us, you find out. Nothing that I wouldn't want to tell you about. No, 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 'cause it's too cold for you here now. So let me hold both your hands in the holes of this too.